You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Do you smell it? That smell. The kind of smelly smell. The smelly smell that smells smelly.
Welcome to the Hardcore Patriot.
This right here is payback. Playback. I don't play that. This right here is payback. Playback. I don't play that.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Now, having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead right now?
We gotta get them up. Who wants some? You better get them up. Come get some. We gotta get them up. Who wants some? You better get them up. Come get some. We gotta get them up. Who wants some? You better get them up. Come get some. We gotta get them up. Who wants some? You better get them up.
And now, here's your host, Alan Ray.
It's another edition. That's right. It's the Hardcore Patriot, and we are ready to just rock your socks off. It's going to be such a good day. I am coming to you from KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign, and they're just doggone pretty good ideas, don't you think? Hey, guess what? I am on iHeart, iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker, and as of this week, you can find me on Stitcher. Man, I'm like a bad infestation. I'm just all over the internet, just getting all up in your ears and in your face and doing my little Hardcore Patriot thing. We're going to have so much fun today. You know what? Let's just not take life seriously, because really, it's a train wreck and there's things going on you really have no control over. So let's just stand up on top of this mountain and laugh at them. Let's kick it in the butt. That's right. Every animal in the house is in my studio right now. That's right. They're going to help me do this show. My faithful dog, Ava, Angel, the demon spawned from hell, otherwise known as my daughter's cat, and Enrique, my son's ginormous cat that somebody threw out a window when he was a tiny, tiny kitten, right in front of my youngest son. Threw it right out the window as they drove by. Fortunately, Enrique hit a bank and rolled down into a ravine, and my son picked him up and brought him home. And now he's this mountain lion. He is absolutely enormous. He literally tackles the dog. And they're all right here joining me for the Hardcore Patriot. Welcome. Coming to you live from a cornfield in southeastern Michigan. And the cornfields are getting there, people. I'm seeing all these harvesters and combines starting to gather up and drive down the road. These things are huge. When they drive by the house, they rattle the house. And from the second floor where the studio is, I can almost look the driver straight in the eye. It's scary. And it's just a great time to be alive. We're heading into fall. I love the fall. Fall is one of my favorite times of year. Colors changing, football, just a lot of excitement. I no longer have kids in school, so for me, that's even more excitement because we don't have to get them up. And getting kids ready for school is like herding eels or putting toothpaste back in the tube. It's not the easiest job in the world. And if you have more than 2 kids, it gets, I mean, I don't know how this happens, but when you have 3 kids, it's like 10 times more complicated getting them all ready for school than if you just have 2. How does that happen? And I can't even imagine these people that have like 10 kids or 5 kids. What do you do? How do you do that? It pains me. Speaking of pain, Hillary Clinton has a new book out. Have you heard? I think it's been on the news. Maybe has it been on the news? Hillary Clinton has a new book out. It is a 512-page book of excuses called What Happened. And, you know, just so we can refresh our memories, the Daily Wire, on June 1st of 2017, they updated their list of excuses of why Hillary lost. Let's just run down them real quick. I'll try to make this real quick. I won't even comment on any of these. Number 1, former FBI Director James Comey. Number 2, sexism. Number 3, the electoral system. Number 4, WikiLeaks. Number 5, quote, minions. Minions? Really? The little yellow things? I'm not going to comment. Come on, keep going now. Number 6, the right-wing media. Number 7, the mainstream media. Number 8, the Democratic National Committee. Number 9, the Democrat Party. 10, 1,000 Russian agents. 1,000 Russian agents, yes. 11, Vladimir Putin. 12, Donald Trump. Well, yeah. Number 13, Republican-enabled voter suppression. Really? 14, Citizens United. Number 15, Facebook. Evil Facebook. Number 16, millions of Twitter bots. Yep. Number 17, Steve Bannon. Number 18, Netflix. Netflix. All right, I gotta read this. Yes, Hillary even blamed Netflix. Go to Netflix and say you want to see a political documentary. 8 of the top 10, last time I checked a few weeks ago, were screeds against President Obama or me or both of us. Okay, I get it. Number 19, alt-right media like InfoWars. Number 20, Bernie Sanders. 21, suburban women. You nasty little wasps, you. 22, racism / xenophobia. I like that word, xenophobia. Starts with an X. I wonder if I can get that on a Scrabble board somehow. It's going to be my life ambition from now on to use xenophobia in a game of Scrabble. We'll see what happens. 23, anti-American forces. 24, bad polling. 25, low information voters. 26, content farms in Macedonia. I like that one. That's my favorite. Content farms in Macedonia. Do you know if she were to actually go back and try and win the 2020 election, we would probably declare war on Macedonia right off the bat. Those doggone content farms. 27, fake news. 28, colluding Trump campaign officials. 29, stupid Americans who can't tell the difference between real and fake news. 30, the broad assumption I was going to win. 31, Goosifer. Yep. 32, DC leaks. 33, data from the Republican National Committee. 34, technology. Darn you, technology. Darn you, all the heck. 35, the FBI. 36, the GRU. 37, deployables. And 38, Team Hillary was too honest. I'm saying that with a straight. I'm saying that with a straight face. I'm not gonna laugh. Team Hillary is too honest. So anyway, all of this can be found in a 512-page book called What Happened by Hillary Rodham Clinton. Oh, and for $20, 25 bucks, I think maybe, you can get the audiobook where Hillary Clinton herself reads the book to you. I can't think of a better 2+ hours spent than listening to Hillary Rodham Clinton and her grating voice read her book about why she lost the election. Who's going to buy that? Maybe the CIA. When they detain somebody in Gitmo and they want to find information, they just lock them in a cage with a big stereo system and Hillary Clinton reading her own book to them. My God, they would sing like little birds after about 10 minutes. No, please, let me out. I will tell you anything you want to know. Oh, or they would gouge their ears out. Listen, come on. What I really want to hear is Hillary Clinton reading 50 Shades of Grey. That's what I want to hear. But anyway, in true hardcore patriot form, I started asking myself, who writes about losing? Who does this? I mean, did Mitt Romney write a book about why he lost to Barack Obama? No. Yeah, what kind of hubris does it take for somebody in their minds to think to themselves, you know what? I'm so mad, I'm going to write a book to blame everybody and everything about why I lost this election. And I asked myself, who does this stuff? And I started doing some research, and I found some little-known books by famous losers that they put out after their great losses to explain it. And I'm going to give you these books. The first one's called What Fourth Quarter by the 2017 Atlanta Falcons. Here's one, Edward John Smith, the captain of the Titanic. It's called Who Knew God Had an Iceberg? For those of you that don't know history, the Titanic, I mean, do I have to explain this to you? They said God couldn't even sink it? Okay. Who knew God had an iceberg? Conor McGregor. Ouch! That guy can really hit hard. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Our cars just weren't fast enough by everyone in the Indy 500 who was not Takuma Sato. That's who it is. What else? Oh, yeah. Go ahead and print that headline by Thomas Dewey. And finally, last but not least, What's an End Zone by the 2008 Detroit Lions. That's the kind of people that write books about losing. And Hillary Clinton proudly joins the ranks of those people. So we honor her today by being one of the most butthurt, sore-headed imbeciles in the entire United States of America. You can tell what kind of show it's going to be, can't you? We're going to have all kinds of fun. Speaking of all kinds of fun, Donald Trump has become a NASCAR driver. True story. He's becoming a NASCAR driver. Why do I say that? Well, it seems like all of a sudden he's starting to turn left an awful lot. And before you go hating on me, before you go beating me up on social media, sending me nasty emails, which I read and laugh at, let's read. It's kind of sad when the WAPO comes out, Washington Post, and Aaron Blake comes out and he writes an article, says Democratic leaders in Congress announced a major agreement with President Trump on Wednesday night, which, of course, if you know, he tweeted that there was no agreement. We agreed to enshrine the protections of DACA into law quickly, which, what did I tell you? Last episode, last time we spoke, that he didn't just kill the program, he sent it to Congress so it could become a law. Hello? The executive order was unconstitutional. How he knew that? I don't know. Maybe he heard it. Maybe he read it on Twitter somewhere. I don't think he actually read the Constitution. Anywho, let's see, where did we leave off? Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi set up the program to protect the children of illegal immigrants, in other words, known as illegal aliens, from deportation, and to work out a package of border security excluding the wall that's acceptable to both sides. Really? That wall part, understandably, set off alarm bells among Trump's hardline immigration base, and Trump and the White House responded Thursday morning that there was, in fact, no deal. But it turns out there, well, basically is a deal. First off, it's subject to a vote. Every deal is. And Schumer and Pelosi didn't claim that the details on the border security had been worked out. In other words, the deal was reached in principle, according to this article. As for the principles of that deal, and specifically the border wall, this is really a denial from Trump. He says that the wall will continue to be built, but he doesn't say that it must be part of the deal. Democrats didn't claim the wall renovation would be halted in the deal or anything like that. They simply said the new deal would not include more funding for the wall, which Trump has promised. This again seems to be Trump stating the obvious. Yada, 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 yakety smackety. Is there anything in here that I care about? I'm thinking that, and we talked about this the last time we spoke, that there will be amnesty or a form of amnesty for everybody that's already here illegally to avoid a humanitarian crisis. Is it right? I don't know. I don't think so. I think this should be vetted. I think the people here already, if they've done something that was a crime outside of crossing the border illegally, which makes them illegal aliens, should be sent back immediately. Gone. We don't need a higher crime rate. I don't know the answer to this whole thing. But what I do know is President Trump has turned to the left to make deals. He cannot get any cooperation from the GOP. How do we know this? Well, has the Affordable Care Act been fixed? No, it has not. Will DACA be fixed? I seriously doubt it. Are they doing anything to help the President of the United States out? That's a big negative. The tax reform is coming up next. Quite honestly, folks, I'm a little confused here. Why is he having to meet with the Democrats to get anything done? Doesn't the Republicans hold the Senate, the House, the presidency? Don't we even have a Supreme Court now that's pretty much loaded with people who are conservative thinkers? Yet we can't get anything done? Seriously? This is going to get interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to get very interesting because this is starting to send up signal flares that your beloved president is starting to lean a little bit to the left, because one of his biggest issues, one of his biggest platforms that he ran on was building a wall and stopping the immigration problems. And what you have here is him making DACA a law, just like I told you he was going to do. I'm not going to prognosticate. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what's going to happen next. I don't know. This entire administration, the entire federal government right now is like, it's like a meth head schizophrenic. They're all over the map. From day to day, you just don't know what you're going to hear out of Washington, D.C. And it begs the question that I ask over and over and over and over again until I want to pull my hair out. How and why does the federal government have this kind of power?
Oh my God!
Because we've allowed it. That's why. Because we haven't risen up and saying, yeah, you've crossed the line. In fact, they didn't just cross the line. They crossed the line before I was ever born. They crossed the line so far that they blew by it like a hurricane in Florida. They didn't even acknowledge the line. And these little half-wits that talk about the Constitution, that talk about the Bill of Rights being a fluid, flowing, living, breathing document. No, it's not. The United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights, which was added to the United States Constitution in order to get it ratified because they were afraid that the Constitution gave the federal government way too much power. Read history. It is all a limit. A limit. It is the line in the sand. This is where the federal government ends. And when you see the phrase shall not be infringed, that means period. This is a place you don't go. This is a no-no spot. Why do we continue to let the federal government blow through these stop signs? I'll tell you why. Because they have you convinced there's nothing you can do about it. They have you buffaloed that there's absolutely not a thing you can do about it. I beg to differ. And we don't even have to go violent. What happens is every time they cross this line, we need to primary the sitting candidates and get them out of there. Threaten them with turning over this government. Mass turnovers of this government for the next 3 elections would put it in such a state of chaos, and they would be so terrified of the people of this United States that they would be terrified to cross that line. But you know what? We won't do it because they have we the people of the United States convinced that they need to stay in power for decades at a time, that they need to have their claws firmly sunk in to the backs of the country. It's simply not true. Quite honestly, and this came up a few elections ago, and they were starting to get terrified. Because the thinking, and I've known this thinking for decades, the thinking started going, you know what, if we just voted everybody that was sitting out and put new people in, whether they're left or right, and in 4 years, vote those people out and put new people in and just kept doing that, we'd get rid of the corruption in government. And man, you heard D.C. lose its mind. You heard them start putting out articles. Why that wouldn't be a good idea. Well, no, wait a minute, people. Now, wait a minute. Really? How come people we elect go to Washington, D.C., making $150,000, $200,000 a year and come out being worth $200 million? How does that happen? Where does that come from? How come nobody's asking these questions? I am. And like I said, I'm not anti-government. I believe in this system. The problem is this system has been hoarded out. This system has been raped by power mongers, both left and right. And now we have a president, which if you go all the way back to when I first started this show, in fact, even farther than that, when I sat with Rick and Jen on the Jen and Rick show, and I said, the reason I am not a Donald Trump fan is we live in a time where we need a intellectual, constitutional conservative to step into the presidency and stop this machine and turn it around where it gets back to what the founding fathers had in mind. A smaller federal government, more state powers, and keep the federal government out of my personal life. It all hinges on that. And quite honestly, ladies and gentlemen, patriots, we have very few, if anybody, in Washington, D.C. that thinks this way. Very, very few. And the ones that do get ridiculed and laughed at and pretty much driven right off the stage. It's a bad situation, and it's getting worse. I'm not going to try to tell the future of what's going to happen with this DACA thing, but I can tell you right now, if it's anything like what they tried to do with the Affordable Care Act and everything else they've tried to do, it's going to turn into a real crap show. That being said, I'm going to take a little bit of break. When we come back, we have more fun and frolic. Happy Friday. Let's keep going.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it, so can you.
For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
Welcome back. I'm glad you're sticking with me. I'm Alan Ray, the Hardcore Patriot, coming at you on KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign. They not only reign, they push you on your neo-socialist backside, and they punch you right in your tiny little social justice gonads. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. I'm having the time of my life. I hope you are too. Happy Friday. Heading into the weekend. I'm heading up north. That's right. You can get northier north than the north being in Michigan. We call north anything pretty much above Lansing. And that's going to happen later on today. And I'm going to be up there. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be running a 5K that raises funds and awareness for foster children. My family up in the Gladwin area, my niece and my sister both do a lot of work with foster kids. There's a lot of little kids that run around that area that run up to my sister at random screaming, "Nana, Nana," and jump into her arms. It's heartwarming that she does this. And there's a long story behind it. I'm not going to go into it, but just suffice it to say, I'm really looking forward to heading up there, piling into the middle of all the nieces and nephews and their little kids and my sister and just having a good time. Yeah, I'm running the 5K and I can do that. In fact, last weekend, I ran 6.5 miles, and it felt pretty good. I came home, and of course, as usual, my dog met me at the door with a leash in her mouth and said, "I want to go for a walk." So not only did we run 6.5 miles, we walked another 1.5 miles. Yippee for me. And then all day Monday, I was kind of walking like a 90-year-old. But hey, we got over it real quick. I bounced back. I still bounce back. Even though I am now 52 years old, I bounce kind of like, I don't know, silly putty with a lead brick inside of it. But anyway, back to what we were doing, what we were talking about. It seems like the government's kind of lost its collective poo-poo. And we really can't tell what Donald Trump is going to do from one second to the next. You know, we kind of half expected Lois Lerner to be brought back up and figure out what happened with the IRS and actually had resolution to people like, oh, I don't know, you and I on the right being investigated for our political beliefs by a government. I think that's called tyranny, is it not? I think it is. Yeah, in fact. Maybe dig a little bit deeper into what happened to little Miss Excuse Maker there, Hillary Rodham Clinton. And the server, the illegal server she had in her bathroom. And this is what kills me. If I had something like that in my house, an illegal server tapped into the government that I wasn't supposed to have, there wouldn't have been questions. I just would have had people slamming down my door, every possession I had taken out of here, and it would be all over the news, and I would probably already be in prison. I don't buy into the too big to fail thing. Not in America. Not in a place where everybody here is born equal, and what you do defines your life. And there's a lot of people that'll disagree with me, but hey, I came out of a pretty rough situation, and I'm doing pretty good. If I can do it with the few gray cells that I have strung together, I think you could too. But getting back to what we were talking about, disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, there's so many things happening. And recently, I haven't played this yet. I was going to play it last time we spoke. I couldn't get it to go. The hardware and the software were just being stupid, and I just added it because I really want to play it for you. If you didn't hear it on FUBAR, One Nation Under Fu, which is here on KLRN Radio, if you didn't hear it under America Off the Rails by Rowdy Rick Robinson, the boss, I'm going to play it for you now. I'm part of a duet called the Third Rail Ramblers. The other part of this, the other half, is on Twitter. His name is Beaker. I'm not going to tell you his real name, even though I know it. He is under Polyfoam Pontiff on social media, on Twitter. And he is, if you're on Twitter, you need to follow him. He's a riot. He's a good guy. He's a great person. And he is a very deep thinker. He has had a couple of articles out on Misfit Politics. I've had one or two as well, but his are always very insightful. And you can just tell the man thinks 10 miles deep, where I think I do good sometime to dig 6 feet deep. He's like miles into the crust of the earth. So he writes these lyrics, and I try to record them. And this is our first collaboration where we're both recorded in a song. And we came up with Trumpster's Paradise, and I'm going to play that for you now. I hope you enjoy it. Let's kick it in. As my thoughts drew an image of a hollow Macbeth, I took a look at the right and agonized about the left, cause they've been clashing and bapping so long that even the Buckley would think that this party is gone. But they ain't never lost a plan where they want the servant. We be beating like a drunk, sovereign TV and turd love. We never watch how they stalking and interlocking. It's true with the status they be trying to walk. A calculated quip, but you gotta know, system's broke. Obamacare ain't gonna go, fool. He's the kind of beat a little status wanna be, like saying please to the right. Principles ain't your birthright. Bending in the surprise, living in a Trumpster's paradise. When parenthood that's tight, living in a Trumpster's paradise. Promise you all that's nice, living in a Trumpster's paradise. But we got no such right, living in a Trumpster's paradise. With this administration, they all but making the press lose their effing minds, getting hazed by the tweet, but they always be clowning the mainstream. Too much imprecision, botching, and apparent schemes. They be preferential fools with agenda on their mind. The PADNC gotta be demonized. He provoked pure rancor, oppressed, pimping canker, but his cronies abound. And they ain't just your average tool, but the press keeps breaking a scandal a day. Misgiving, strife, amplifying, can't brush away. He's in the seat now, but will he stay to be a sophomore? The way he be tweeting, I don't know. Tell me why must we on the damn TV watch the POTUS deserve common decency?
and see. Been getting muscle crying, living in a Trumpster's paradise. Planned Parenthood, that's tight, living in a Trumpster's paradise. Promise to all that's nice, living in a Trumpster's paradise. But we got ghosts and tribe, living in a Trumpster's paradise.
Spicer and the Comey, Moochie got devoured. People making exits, used to have some power. Little what he's saying, about half of what he's doing. A marathon of fiction, but some of us be looking. Some say I got a spur and others get on both knees. But they just be grandstanding, decision is just me. Some Trump I can, some Trump I won't. Most pundits suck, they be always baiting and clicking for the press pool.
Been getting muscle cries, living in a Trumpster's paradise. Planned Parenthood, that's tight, living in a Trumpster's paradise. Promise to all that's nice, living in a Trumpster's paradise. But we got ghosts and tribe, living in a Trumpster's paradise. Tell me why must he each day to tweet like Tourette's he's burned some crude debris. Tell me why must we each day to see the press fuckers on live TV?
Ah, there's nothing sadder than a 50-year-old trying to rap. Trumpster's Paradise by the Third Rail Ramblers. Oh, we had so much fun doing it. That was a lot of production and a lot of hours writing lyrics went into that. I hope you enjoyed it. We had a heck of a time recording it. It was a blast. Moving on, North Korea. Yes, our little man Kim Jong-un couldn't sit back and give us a few weeks to recover from Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma. Nope, he's got to be the center of attention. He must work for the Democrats. Didn't we talk about that last week? Yeah, we did. Anyway, Reuters through Fortune.com comes out with an article today. It says, a North Korean state agency threatened on Thursday to use nuclear weapons to sink Japan and reduce the United States to ashes and darkness for supporting a UN Security Council resolution and sanctions over its latest nuclear test. The Korea-Asia-Pacific Peace Committee, which handles the North's external ties and propaganda, also called for the breakup of the Security Council, which it called a tool of evil, made up of money-bribed countries that have moved at the orders of the United States. The 4 islands of the archipelago should be sunken into the sea by the nuclear bomb of Juche. Japan is no longer needed to exist near us, the committee said in a statement carried by the North's official KCNA news agency. Juche is the North's ruling ideology that mixes Marxism and an extreme form of go-it-alone nationalism preached by the state founder Kim Il-sung, the grandfather of the current leader Kim Jong-un. He gonna destroy the United States with his little nuclear bomb. Actually, what really kind of worries me is he actually fires one off and we don't take it out. And I'm sure he knows what happens when you set off an EMP strike. That seems to be more feasible. And if I was somebody in his position, I would be thinking about that. What he's not thinking about is if he does anything like that, really, and let's talk about this. Is it time for a preemptive strike against this little Goonie bird? Is it time to just unleash on him? I was just reading, and I can't tell you where this article is. I can't find it again. But I've been reading about the new arms that the United States has. And they're almost as powerful as the bomb dropped on Hiroshima, and they're non-nuclear. So we can pretty much devastate town after town in North Korea. And it's a non-nuclear event. I don't recommend it. Unfortunately, there are a lot of innocent people held in North Korea. People who, like a lot of people in this country, are brainwashed into an ideology that think it's right. They're not. They're slaves. They're slaves to the state. They're not free people. And this lunatic is going to get them all killed if he's not careful. We have the precision weapons and the delivery systems on these weapons to pretty much take out anything he has that resembles armament. I say we strike first. I say we do it tomorrow. The United Nations probably would disagree wholeheartedly with me, but this guy is going to screw around and screw around and screw around. And when Japan blows up in a vapor of nuclear waste, it's too late. When this guy sets something off and destroys an island somewhere in the Pacific, it's too late. We need a coalition in the United Nations. I know I roll my eyes every time I think about having to go to the UN. I detest the UN. The United Nations is a glorified debate society, and almost 80% of the people involved in the United Nations are set out to take America down, put us at the level of a third world hellhole. Because they buy into the same philosophy that the Democrats buy into, that we've had it too good too long. It's that whole philosophy that the Democrats seem to have. There are certain people that have had it too good too long, and they have to go to the back of the bus. Instead of the thinking, it's time for the rest of us to have a renaissance and bring everybody's collective mentality, collective thinking up. No, we want to destroy one person in hopes that somebody else steps up. Well, the reality of the situation is we're all going to be dumb as bricks. It's already starting to happen. Look around you. Read social media. We've dumbed ourselves down to the point where I don't think we have hope for humanity. We're going to enter into another dark ages. We'll be throwing virgins into volcanoes to stop them before too long. I mean, you already have people that think that Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma hit because we elected Donald Trump. But yet when you ask them about all the fires in California, they sit there and look at you. Really? Is that karma too? Are they burning because you voted for Hillary Clinton? It's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. But yet the conservatives are supposed to be the people that don't believe in science. Well, let's think about that for a second. Yeah, we do believe in science, factual science that's backed up by facts, not hurt feels, not people's thinking, not a model that can't be duplicated, that's paid off by people getting rich on the whole idea of climate change. But I digress. Back to North Korea. Before this guy screws around and kills a bunch of people, he needs to be taken out. He needs to be taken out now. And I'm positive, with the Secretary of Defense that we have now, it's in the works. We're just waiting for the green light. I almost guarantee you we're waiting for a green light on this. I'm sorry. I'm drinking. It's not just water today. I take one of those supplements, them red beet supplements, NO2 supplements. I don't go for the big expensive ones because there's really one way to make it. You ground up beets. Beets are high in NO2, and then they add fruit flavoring so you can stomach it because beets are nasty. I've had to eat beets and it's just like, yeah, no. It's good stuff. It keeps the hardcore patriot here, Alan Ray, young and doing things like running 6.5 miles and awake through work and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But again, I digress. I'm chasing a lot of rabbits today. I think we need to think about taking North Korea out. It's getting critical. And when he starts firing off some of these nukes that he has, which he's already explained he's not afraid to use, then it's too late. We think we have the technology to bring these weapons out of the sky. And you may ask yourself, well, why don't we just shoot the test ones down to make sure? Well, there's a reason we don't do it. Because when they fire off these warheads, these dummy bombs that they're firing off into the ocean, we are calculating their trajectory. We're calculating their effectiveness. We're calculating how good they're getting with making them. So basically, Kim Jong-un is doing us a favor by doing all of these tests because we are calculating what he's got going on. We're preparing. And he's too stupid to realize this. He's kind of an idiot. This is what happens when your family tree looks more like a telephone pole than it does a tree. Kind of goes straight up. I'm not going to say he's inbred, but he's inbred. Anyway, moving on, and we've only got a few more minutes, and I want to talk to you about this. And I try to add things that are interested to people like you and I, hardcore patriots. So I want to start adding more and more things over guns and weapons. I do a lot of things about survival, self-defense, which I'll talk to you here in a minute. But this one, it goes to the silencer bill, dated September 12th, 2017. TheHill.com by Lydia Wheeler and Cole Gray says Democrats are voicing opposition to a Republican measure that would ease restrictions on the purchase of gun silencers. The measure from Representative Jeff Duncan, Republican, South Carolina, is a broad sportsman's bill. The Sportsman's Heritage and Recreational Enhancement Act aimed at broadening public access to federal lands for hunting and fishing, but the bill also contains some gun provisions, including Duncan's, which would make it easier to buy silencers for firearms, a process which currently requires registration and a background check under the National Firearms Act. Under Duncan's measures, silencers, also known as suppressors, the technical name is a suppressor. They are not a silencer, and we'll get to that in a moment, would be removed from the National Firearms Act. Purchasers would only need to undergo a less extensive instant background check. It goes on, yada, yada, yada. People are butthurt. Democrats are freaking out. The reason Democrats are freaking out, because once again, they are misinformed. Every time I hear them do this, well, I don't know if they're misinformed or if they're intentionally misinforming the public. There is no silencer. When you put a silencer, quote, which are suppressors, on a weapon, it reduces the initial explosion. It does not silence the gun. It's still loud as heck. You still need to have ear protection on when you use them. But I have a few weapons in my possession that I really wish I could put a silencer on. Because I like to target practice out back in my yard, which points toward miles and miles of cornfields. There's a hill. It's safe. I make sure nobody's around. But still, I know one weapon in particular is very, very loud. It's obnoxiously loud. When I touch this thing off, dogs all over the area just stop barking. They're terrified of this weapon. If I could put something on it to lower the noise level, it would be nice, because then I could target practice more with it. As it stands now, I can't really do that, because I have respect for the people around me, even though the hardcore patriot lives in a cornfield in southeastern Michigan. There are houses up and down my road. It's like this little burg, like somebody out of the blue said, hey, I got a good idea. Let's put about 30 houses here and nothing around it. Brilliant. We like it. We get along with all the neighbors. Everybody's kind of cool around here. There's not much trouble. There's not like loud parties or anything. Usually if there are, it's going on at my house and all the neighbors are involved. So what about that? But as it stands, they are trying their hardest. These misinformed leftists are trying their hardest to make it sound like this bill is going to introduce a measure where you could kill somebody quietly and nobody would ever hear it. It's a lie. It's a blatant lie. They haven't taken the time to actually do their homework. They're just speaking out of their hind end. They're spewing rhetoric. If you are on the left and I'm not dissing anybody that votes Democrat, okay? I'm dissing the leaders of the Democrat Party, and I want to make that clear. You have your own political opinion. I'm not going to change your political. If you've stumbled across this show, I'm not disrespecting you. I'm just telling you your leaders are lying to you. They are. Suppressors suppress the initial explosion coming out of the barrel. They don't eliminate the noise. It's still very loud. It just reduces the sharp explosion. That's the layman's terms. I mean, do your own homework, but that's what they do. So to make them something that you have to go through a bunch of hoops and pay taxes and all this stuff on to get, it's ridiculous. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. So that's what's going on in the wide, wide world of guns. Thing number 2, I have purchased a new holster, and this has been a problem of mine. I told you a week ago, I was attacked by a dog. I was not bit. The dog came out snarling, showing his fangs, trying to get at me. But I'm smart enough to fend off a dog attack when it's just one dog. I know what to do. The dog did not come out very well. I can tell you that right now. Neither did the 2 idiots that were sitting on their porch laughing because the dog was coming out at me, because I just so happened to have a small handgun on me that day. And I've been thinking about it. I try to run as much as I can armed, because running out in the cornfields, you have things like rogue dogs that have been let go and they've been on their own for a while and they've turned bad. You have coyotes, which I've literally had coyotes run right out in front of me, not more than 20 yards away. You have, I mean, who knows what can happen out there? There's evil all around us. There's people that might be out there that have ill intent. Things like this happen. I have been in search of a holster designed specifically to exercise with, where I can run and carry and still be comfortable. So I have one coming in. I'm going to give you the lowdown on it. I pray to God next time we talk. It's from a place, what is it called here? Pistolware. Pistolwear. Pistolwear.com. I've got their, I think it's called a Type 2 coming in, because I am a skinny boy. I gained 15 pounds when I went to work in this new job, but it's starting to come back off. And when I'm at my running weight, I'm a pretty thin guy. So I got the skinnier one because I don't need to have an AR-15 strung over my back when I run. But I would like to have something like the little Ruger LCP. That's a great little handgun. It's small. It doesn't flop around. Even when I put it in my running belt, when I go on the trail or run distances or something like that, which thank God I had on that day, but there's a lot of times I don't want to have that belt on. I just want to do 3.5, 4 miles and not carry a lot of stuff with me. But that's a great handgun because it's lightweight, it's small. There's a lot of argument out there about the rounds. It's a 380 round. And you know what? Here's the dealio on this. Getting shot hurts. That's what all that matters. I worry more about rogue animals. I've literally been attacked by a duck when I've been running. How do you defend yourself against a duck? What are you going to do? Shoot it? I would feel horrible. No, you just have to run faster. And if you've run 3 miles already, you can't run that fast. It hurts. But anyways, I'll give you the lowdown on this holster. It's supposed to be made for running. It looks like it's effective. It's got a lot of good ratings on it. I picked up on it from somebody else's blog that said they bought one, and they actually carry, I think, a 1911 or something crazy like that in it. I just need something to have in case I run into the situation I ran into last week, where I'm attacked and an animal comes at me, and unfortunately, I have to put it down. It would break my heart to have to do that. I'm a dog guy. I love dogs. Cats, not so much. They're there. Cats are one of them deals. Yeah, when they're kittens, they're cute and fuzzy, and then they grow up to be big cats. And cats, I always get the feeling cats are inherently evil. But anyways, we'll catch you up on that. I'll give you the full report when I get it in and get it going. I'm Alan Ray, the Hardcore Patriot. I'm going to wind this bad boy up. God bless you. God bless the USA. Until next time, have a good day.
You gotta get 'em up.